The lemon cleaner burns my nostrils as I attack another plate with steel wool, scrubbing at crusty remnants of eggs and toast. Dad's last breakfast. My hands are raw and pruny, but I keep scrubbing, letting the harsh chemicals strip away both food and feeling. Mom's theatrical sobs echo down the stairwell again. She's been alternating between wailing and making phone calls all morning, playing the perfect widow. I've lost count of how many times she's retold the story of finding him, always with fresh dramatic flourishes. He just looked so peaceful in his chair, she'd told my aunt earlier, voice trembling, like he'd dozed off watching the news. Except he hadn't dozed off. The medical examiner said heart attack, but something feels wrong about all of it. The landline's shrill ring makes me jump, soapy water splashing my shirt. Probably another sympathy call. I dry my hands on a dish towel and grab the receiver. Olson residence. Hello, I'm trying to reach Ramona. A man says, his voice professionally detached. This is Malik from Capital Collections. My stomach tightens. She's indisposed. I'm her daughter. Can I take a message? I'm calling about an outstanding balance. Papers shuffle in the background. A non refundable deposit on a honeymoon package booked 3 weeks ago. The charge was declined, but the cancellation period has expired. The room tilts sideways. Honeymoon package? Yes, for two adults. 7 nights at the Grand Cayman Marriott. The reservation was under Ramona. My fingers go numb around the phone. 3 weeks ago, Dad was alive. Mom was supposedly nursing him through what she called a bad flu. He'd been sleeping in the guest room because she said she didn't want to catch it. There must be a mistake, I manage. My father just passed away. My mother wouldn't have. The booking was made with her credit card, ma'am. We have the confirmation email and signature. The total outstanding balance is. I'll have her call you back. I hang up before he can finish, my hand shaking. Upstairs, Mom's voice rises in another performance of grief. But now the sound grates differently against my ears. I think of her insistence on handling Dad's medications herself, how she kept everyone away during his flu, even me. The way she'd called me that morning, voice breaking. Annie, come quick! Something's happened to your father! The bleach and lemon scent suddenly feels cloying, like it's covering something else. I grab my phone and pull up my Uncle Gene's contact. Dad's younger brother has always been close to our family. Too close, maybe. All those dinners he joined us for when Dad worked late. The way Mom's laugh changed when he was around. My thumb hovers over the call button, then switches to text instead. Need to talk. Can you meet? Important. His reply comes seconds later. Of course, sweetheart. Luigi's in an hour? I stare at the sweetheart, my skin crawling. That's what he always called Mom when he thought no one was listening. Fine, I type back. The plate I was scrubbing earlier sits in cloudy water, Dad's last traces dissolving into nothing. I fish it out and dry it carefully, setting it aside. Evidence, maybe. Of what? I'm not sure yet. Mom's sobs have quieted. I hear her footsteps overhead, moving from room to room, probably planning what to wear to the memorial service tomorrow. My throat burns with acid as I imagine her and Jean planning their Caribbean getaway while Dad struggled to breathe down the hall. I pull out my laptop and start searching for records of recent credit card transactions, travel bookings, anything. The Perfect Widow Act might have fooled everyone else, but that debt collector's call changed everything. Mom thought she'd cleaned up all the evidence, just like I'm cleaning these dishes. But she missed a spot, and I'm going to make sure everyone sees it. Dad's ancient laptop whirs like an asthmatic cat as I scroll through his email archive. The screen's blue glow makes my hands look corpse like at 3 a.m. I've been at this for hours, fueled by gas station coffee that tastes like burnt rubber and desperation. The meeting with Gene earlier had confirmed everything, his practice concern, the way he touched my shoulder, too familiar, too lingering. Your mother's taking it so hard, he'd said, eyes downcast. We all need to support her right now. The bastard couldn't even look at me. I take another swig of coffee, grimacing. Dad never changed his passwords. They were always my birthday, followed by Mom's, trusting until the end. The laptop's fan kicks up another notch as I open his cloud storage. My hands freeze over the keyboard. There, in a folder labeled Tax Records 2023, is a subfolder, RNG. My throat closes up as I double click. Hundreds of emails, thousands of texts automatically backed up from Dad's phone. He'd known, or suspected at least. The timestamps tell their own story. Dad started collecting evidence 3 months ago. A chat thread from Mom's phone to Jean catches my eye. He's getting worse. The doctor says his heart can't take much more stress. Jean's reply: It's almost time, baby. I've got the resort booked for next month. Just hold on. The coffee surges back up my throat. I barely make it to the trash can before retching. When I straighten up, wiping my mouth, the words are still there, glowing, damning. I open another folder. Credit card statements, Mom's secret account, joint with Jean, restaurant charges for two on nights Dad worked late, hotel rooms booked under Jean's name, a jewelry purchase the day before Dad's flu started. My fingers tremble as I create a new document, starting to log everything chronologically. The coffee's gone cold beside me, but I pour another cup anyway. The bitter taste matches my mood. A new email notification pops up. Mom sending out final details for tomorrow's memorial service. Duncan would have wanted it to be a celebration of his life, she writes. Please join us in sharing happy memories of a wonderful husband and father. I minimize her email and go back to the evidence folder. Dad had been building his case methodically, bank statements showing unusual withdrawals, photos from his private investigator, Mom and Jean at a wine bar across town, her hand on his thigh, screenshots of text messages discussing dosages of something called digoxin. My phone buzzes. Jean: Get some sleep, sweetheart. Big day tomorrow. I want to throw the phone across the room. Instead, I add his message to my growing timeline of betrayal. The laptop's clock shows 4:13 a.m. In 8 hours, I'm supposed to stand beside Mom at the memorial, playing the supportive daughter while she plays the grieving widow. A new search reveals what digoxin is: a heart medication, therapeutic in small doses, fatal in large ones, undetectable after death if administered correctly. The room spins as pieces click into place. Dad's flu symptoms, Mom insisting on giving him his medicine herself, the honeymoon package booked 3 weeks ago when he first got sick. I open a new tab and start researching toxicology reports, autopsy procedures, statute of limitations. The laptop's fan is screaming now, but I don't care. I copy everything to a secure cloud drive, then a backup USB. Dawn starts creeping through my blinds as I finally power down the laptop. My eyes burn, my head pounds, but sleep isn't an option. I have a memorial service to prepare for. Mom's email about happy memories still sits in my inbox, mocking me. She has no idea what I found tonight. No idea that Dad's old laptop just gave me everything I need. I touch the screen one last time before closing it. I've got them, Dad, I whisper. I promise they won't get away with this. The coffee maker gurgles as I start another pot. I'll need it for what comes next. Jean's house smells exactly like it did when I was a kid, that mix of sandalwood cologne and musty books that always made me sneeze. He ushers me into his study with an overly bright smile, his hand hovering near my lower back but not quite touching. Even now, he's careful. Tea? He asks, already reaching for the fancy porcelain set Mom gave him last Christmas. My stomach turns at the memory. Dad had been so confused about why she'd spent that much on a brother in law's gift. Sure. I clutch the manila envelope of inheritance paperwork I'd used as my excuse to visit. The real documents are safely backed up in 3 different places. Jean pours with steady hands, steam rising between us. How's your mother holding up? She's managing. I accept the cup, watching his face. Actually, she's been going through Dad's old files. Found some interesting things. The teacup clinks against its saucer, just slightly, but enough. His smile tightens at the corners. Oh, nothing too overwhelming, I hope. She's in such a delicate state. The antique grandfather clock in the corner marks each second with a heavy tick. Dad gave him that clock for his 40th birthday. 5 years ago, back when we were still a normal family, back before Mom and Jean started booking hotel rooms across town. She's stronger than you'd think. I blow on my tea, not drinking. Did you know Dad kept detailed financial records? Every transaction? Every phone call? Jean's fingers drum once on his armrest before going still. Duncan was always thorough, one of his best qualities. He leans forward, cologne intensifying. But surely you didn't come here to discuss old paperwork? The clock chimes quarter past. I think of Dad's archived emails, the ones showing Jean transferring money to Mom's secret account right after researching heart medications. No, I say, setting down my untouched tea. I came to give you these. I hold out the envelope. Mom asked me to get your signature on some forms. He takes it, shoulders relaxing slightly. Of course, anything to help. His Mont Blanc pen appears, another gift from Mom, and he starts signing without reading, just like he probably signed the resort booking forms, the bank transfers, all of it. How long? The words escape before I can stop them. His pen pauses mid signature. Pardon? How long were you planning it? The clock's ticking fills the silence. Jean's face does something complicated confusion, then concern, then something darker before settling into careful neutrality. Planning what, sweetheart? That word again. My hands curl into fists under the desk. The honeymoon package, the one you booked for after Dad's death. He sets the pen down with exaggerated care. Anne, you're obviously exhausted. Grief does strange things. Don't! My voice comes out sharp enough to make him flinch. I saw the emails, Jean, the hotel confirmations, the messages about waiting until it was time. The study feels airless suddenly, cologne and old books and lies choking me. Jean's face has gone very still, but his eyes dart to his phone on the desk between us. Whatever you think you found. He starts, reaching for the phone. I can explain. I snatch it before he can. Like you explained the digoxin research or the offshore account transfers? His mask cracks, just for a second, but I see it. Raw panic, followed by calculation. When he speaks again, his voice has that same careful tone he used at Luigi's. You're confused, sweetheart. Let me call your mother. She doesn't know I'm here. I stand up, still holding his phone. And she doesn't know what I found on Dad's laptop. Not yet. The clock strikes the half hour. Jean's hands are perfectly steady as he rises, but sweat beads at his temples. What do you want? I think of Dad's last breakfast, Mom insisting on making his tea herself. Of Jean's messages about dosages and timing, of their Caribbean plans made while Dad struggled to breathe. I want you to sweat, I say, pocketing his phone. I want you both to wonder when everything's going to fall apart. I head for the door, pausing in the doorway. The memorial service is tomorrow. Don't be late. His cologne follows me out, but I don't look back. Let him stew. Let him warn Mom. Tomorrow, everyone will know exactly what kind of people they really are. The library's VR booth smells like stale coffee and desperation. I adjust the headset, trying to ignore how many other sweaty foreheads it's probably touched. The genealogy program was supposed to be a distraction from tomorrow's memorial, but now I'm wondering if downloading my family tree was a mistake. Welcome to Ancestral Pathways, a computerized voice chirps. Loading simulation of Margaret Olson, circa 1923. The virtual world shimmers into focus, a farmhouse kitchen, sunlight streaming through gingham curtains. My great grandmother's life, digitally reconstructed from photos and public records. The program lets you experience key moments from your ancestors' perspectives. I flex my virtual hands, noting the work roughened knuckles, the plain gold band. Margaret had been 26 when her husband died suddenly. Just like Dad, the death certificate said heart failure. Beginning memory sequence, the voice announces. The simulation shifts, showing Margaret at her kitchen window. She's watching two figures in the garden, her husband's brother and a woman in a blue dress. Something glitches. The image stutters, pixels scrambling. When it reforms, the woman's dress is modern, her hair styled like Mom's. I blink hard, but the overlay persists. The brother's face keeps flickering between past and present, between a stranger and Jean. System calibrating, the voice says, but it sounds wrong, distorted. Adjusting temporal parameters. I try to step back from the window, but my avatar moves forward instead. The glass shows my reflection, not Margaret's face anymore, but mine, dressed in sepia tones. The air takes on a metallic tang, like lightning about to strike. In the garden, the figures embrace. The woman's face is clearly Mom's now, the man unmistakably Jean, but the timestamp still reads 1923, and my reflections still wears Margaret's clothes. Historical alignment detected. The computer announces pattern match found. My hands shake as I pull up Margaret's biography. There it is, in stark text. Widowed at 26, married deceased husband's brother 6 months later, cause of first husband's death, heart failure, no autopsy performed. The simulation glitches again. The garden scene replays, but now it's overlaid with security camera footage from Dad's office building, Mom and Jean in the parking lot, kissing against his car. The timestamps blur together. 1923, 2023, different century, same betrayal. Pattern consistency 99.9%, the computer says. Family history repeating. I grab for the headset's release catch, but my fingers slip on sweat slick plastic. The garden scene keeps playing, past and present merging. Margaret Chutch, her mom, turns toward the window, sees me watching. She smiles, and it's the same smile Mom gave at Dad's bedside. Sad on the surface, something darker underneath. Would you like to view similar patterns? The computer asks. Multiple instances found throughout family tree. No. I finally wrench the headset off, gasping. The library's fluorescent lights seem harsh after the sepia tones. My shirt is soaked with sweat, hands trembling as I disconnect from the system. The terminal asks if I want to save my session data. Instead, I pull up Margaret's death certificate. Heart failure, just like her husband. Her second husband, the brother, had been the one to find her. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Dinner tonight? Jean's coming over to help with memorial arrangements. I stare at the message, then back at Margaret's records. The same patterns, playing out across generations. But this time, something's different. This time, someone's paying attention. I screenshot Margaret's death certificate, adding it to my evidence folder. Then I text back, "Sorry, can't make it. Busy preparing my speech for tomorrow." Mom replies instantly, "Speech? I thought Jean was handling the eulogy?" "Change of plans," I type. "I have some family history I think everyone should hear." I pack up my things, but the metallic taste of the simulation lingers. Margaret had never seen it coming. Neither had Dad. But I'm not them, and tomorrow isn't 1923. The library's automatic doors hiss shut behind me like the simulation releasing its grip. But I can still see those overlaid images, Mom and Margaret, Jean and his brother, betrayals echoing through time. Tomorrow I break the pattern. The mailbox creaks open with its usual rusty protest. Bills, junk mail, and my hand freezes on a cream colored envelope. Heavy paper, the kind used for wedding invitations. Addressed to Mom in elegant script, return address from Paradise Travel Boutique. I slide my finger under the flap, the expensive paper smooth against my skin. Inside, the letterhead shimmers with gold foil. Final booking confirmation. Bora Bora over water villa experience. The dates jump out at me. Starting 3 days after tomorrow's memorial service. 2 weeks of luxury in the South Pacific, all expenses paid. The amount makes my stomach lurch, more than Dad made in 3 months. "Annie?" Mom's voice drifts from the front door. "Is that today's mail?" I stuff the travel documents into my notebook, wedging them between pages already crammed with evidence. "Just bills," I call back, grabbing the rest of the mail. "And some sympathy cards." She meets me in the foyer, wearing the black dress she bought specially for tomorrow. Her signature perfume, Midnight Lily, fills the space between us, cloying and thick, the same scent that used to linger on Jean's collar after their business dinners. Such a shame about the timing. She sighs, taking the sympathy cards. "Your father would have loved a tropical vacation. We never did get to take that second honeymoon he promised." Bile rises in my throat. I swallow hard, tasting artificial lilies. Yeah, such a shame. She starts sorting through the cards, humming softly, the same tune she was humming the morning Dad died. My notebook feels heavy against my hip, the travel documents burning through the pages. "Jean's coming over later," she says, not looking up, "to help finalize tomorrow's arrangements. You'll join us?" The perfume intensifies as she moves closer, checking postmarks. I step back, fighting the urge to gag. "Can't, still working on my speech." Her humming stops. "Speech? Honey, we discussed this. Jean's handling the eulogy. I found some interesting family history. I touch my notebook. Things the people should know about. She looks up sharply, but her voice stays honey sweet. This isn't the time for amateur genealogy, Annie. People want comfort, not history lessons. Like the history of heart conditions in Dad's family? The words slip out before I can stop them. Or travel arrangements? The sympathy cards crumple slightly in her grip. For a moment, something cold flickers behind her eyes. Then she smiles, smooth as the travel agency's paper. You're not sleeping well, are you? Grief does strange things to the mind. Does it make people book honeymoon packages while their husbands are dying? The cards drop. Mom's face goes still, but her fingers twitch, the same tell she had when lying about working late with Jean. I don't know what you think you found. Save it. I back toward the stairs, one hand on my notebook. Save all the explanations for tomorrow. I'm sure everyone will be very interested. Anne, her voice hardens. Whatever you're planning. You should call Jean, I cut in. Tell him to bring his passport to the memorial. He might need it sooner than planned. I take the stairs two at a time, her perfume pursuing me like a ghost. In my room, I lock the door and pull out the travel documents. The paper still feels obscenely smooth, like Mom's lies. My phone lights up. Jean calling. I let it ring. Below, I hear Mom's voice, sharp and urgent. The front door opens and closes within minutes. She's running to him, just like always. I add the Bora Bora confirmation to my timeline. The pieces line up perfectly. Dad's flu starting the day after the initial booking, Mom insisting on handling his medication, the canceled charges on her secret credit card when he died too soon. This new booking made the day after. My notebook bulges with evidence, emails, bank statements, medical records, travel documents. Tomorrow it will all come out. Tomorrow everyone will see through the perfume and the practiced grief. The humming starts again downstairs, Mom's back, probably calling the rest of the family to do damage control. Let her try. I've got proof of everything now, and I'm done gagging on her lies. I open my laptop and start practicing my speech. The memorial's in 15 hours. Just enough time to make sure every word hits exactly where it should. Rain hammers the roof like artillery fire as I pace my childhood bedroom, index cards clutched in my sweating hands. 3 a.m., and I'm still tweaking phrases, making sure each word will cut deep enough. I stand here today not just as a daughter, I whisper to my reflection, but as someone who discovered the truth about how my father died. My voice cracks on the last word. I clear my throat and try again, stronger this time. The stack of evidence sits ready on my desk, printed emails, bank statements, travel confirmations. Dad's wedding ring catches the lamplight. I found it in Mom's jewelry box yesterday, already cleaned and stored away like his memory. My phone buzzes. Another voicemail from Malik, Ms. Olson, regarding the outstanding balance on your mother's travel package. Given the circumstances, we're willing to discuss payment arrangements. I play it again, letting his professional tone wash over me. Such a simple thing. That first call. One loose thread that unraveled everything. Thunder crashes outside, and I jump, dropping my cards. As I bend to gather them, a fresh wave of anger hits me. Right now, Mom's probably sleeping peacefully down the hall, while Dad's body lies cold in the funeral home. Maybe she's dreaming of Bora Bora, of crystal waters, and Jean's hands on her skin. Focus, I tell myself, shuffling the cards back in order. The opening needs to be perfect, no room for weakness or hesitation. I clear my throat again, tasting blood where I've been biting the inside of my cheek. My father trusted easily. I practice. He trusted his wife of 30 years. He trusted his brother. That trust killed him. Lightning flashes, throwing harsh shadows across my evidence pile. I pick up Dad's ring, sliding it onto my thumb, the closest it comes to fitting. The gold is still warm from where I've been clutching it. My phone lights up. Jean calling. Third time tonight. I let it ring out, then play his voicemail. Annie, sweetheart, please call me. Your mother's worried sick. Whatever you think you know. Delete. I check my presentation folder again. Everything's arranged chronologically, each betrayal documented and dated, the honeymoon bookings, the heart medication research, the bank transfers, the hotel receipts from their secret meetings. What would you do? I asked Dad's photo on my nightstand. He's smiling in it, arm around Mom at some family barbecue. Before the affair, before the plotting, before they slowly poisoned him. The rain drums harder, drowning out my thoughts. My hands shake as I reach for the water glass on my desk, but I knock it over instead. Water seeps into one corner of my notes. Shit! I blot the pages frantically, but the ink's already bleeding. Just like tomorrow, once I start talking, everything will bleed out, staining our family forever. Good. I check my phone. 4:17 a.m. Less than 6 hours until the memorial. Mom's already at the funeral home, making arrangements, probably making sure Jean has a seat in the front row, right beside her. The rain starts to ease, settling into a steady patter. I smooth out my damp notes and start again. My father trusted easily. This time my voice stays steady. This time the words flow like poison from a medicine dropper, careful, measured, lethal. I imagine Mom's face as I reveal each secret. Jean's practiced calm, cracking, the shocked whispers spreading through the funeral home. I touch Dad's ring again, twisting it around my thumb. The gold feels heavier now, like it's weighted with purpose. I think of my great grandmother Margaret, of patterns repeating through generations. Not this time. This time, the truth comes out. Dawn starts to gray the windows. I should try to sleep, but my skin feels electric with anticipation. Instead, I lay out my black dress, the one Dad bought me for my college graduation. Check my evidence folder one last time. Set 3 alarms, though I know I won't need them. The rain finally stops, leaving behind a heavy silence. In a few hours, that silence will shatter like glass. I'll stand at the podium, notes in hand, and detonate every lie they've told. I curl up on my bed, still holding Dad's ring. I'm ready, I whisper to the quiet room. Tomorrow, they'll learn what it means to trust too easily. The church pews feel like they're made of ice, despite the velvet cushioning. Mom's voice carries clearly through the speakers, each word perfectly modulated for maximum sympathy. Duncan was more than my husband, she says, dabbing at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. He was my soulmate, my eternal love. My fingers dig into the velvet cushion. In the front row, Jean nods encouragingly at her performance. The air is thick with incense and hypocrisy, making my throat tight. Our 30 years together were a gift, Mom continues, every moment precious. I stand up. The movement echoes in the hushed sanctuary, heads turning. Mom falters mid sentence, her mask slipping for just a second before she recovers. Annie? Sweetheart, this isn't the time. Actually, my voice carries clearly, thanks to the church's acoustics. It's exactly the time. I walk toward the podium, phone in hand. Let's talk about precious moments, like 3 weeks before Dad died, when you were booking your honeymoon. The congregation stirs. Mom's knuckles whiten on the podium. Anne, you're upset. Grief makes us. I press play. Malik's voice fills the church, regarding the honeymoon package for 2 adults, booked under Ramona Olson, departure date 3 days after the memorial service. The handkerchief drops from Mom's trembling fingers. In the front row, Jean starts to stand, but I'm already pulling out the emails. Or how about this moment? I read from the screen. It's almost time, baby. Just keep giving him the medicine like we discussed. The resort's booked for next month. Someone gasps. The sound bounces off the stained glass windows like an accusation. That's enough! Jean's voice cracks. She's clearly disturbed. Disturbed? I laugh, the sound harsh against the sacred walls. Let's discuss disturbing, like researching untraceable heart medications, like booking tropical getaways while your husband struggles to breathe, like having an affair with your brother in law for years. Stop! Mom's scream shatters the air like breaking glass. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I turn to face the congregation. My father died of a heart attack 3 weeks ago, but he knew. He knew about their affair, about their plans. He was collecting evidence. The candles near the altar gutter in a draft, sending the scent of hot wax through the air. I pull out the final printout, Dad's last email draft, never sent. If anything happens to me, I read, check my laptop, check the accounts, check what they've been planning. Mom lunges for the paper, but her heel catches on her designer morning dress. She stumbles, catching herself on the podium. The crash echoes through the sudden silence. You're lying, she hisses, but her eyes dart to the exit. Jean, tell them. But Jean is already moving toward the side door, face ashen. Several people stand up, blocking his path. The police have copies of everything, I announce, the emails, the bank transfers, the medication research, Dad's private investigator's photos. I lock eyes with Mom. They're probably already at the house. She screams again, not a grief stricken widow's cry this time, but something feral and furious. The sound bounces off the vaulted ceiling, drowning out the first sirens in the distance. He never appreciated me. Her mascara runs in black rivers. 30 years of playing the perfect wife, while Jean actually saw me, actually loved. While you killed my father, my voice cuts through her hysteria. Slowly, deliberately, planning your new life before he was even cold. The sirens are louder now. Jean makes a break for the door, but my cousin Kendall tackles him into a flower arrangement. The lilies scatter, their funeral sweetness mixing with the incense. Mom sways at the podium, her perfect facade cracking like old paint. Annie, please, I'm your mother. No. I hold up Dad's ring. You're just another black widow who got sloppy, and now everyone knows exactly what you are. The police burst through the church doors as Mom crumples, her wails echoing off stone walls. The candles flicker, casting dancing shadows over the chaos. In the midst of it all, I smell Dad's aftershave, just for a moment, and know I've done right by him. Morning dew seeps through my dress shoes as I stand by Dad's fresh grave. The police let Mom and Jean stay just long enough to see him lowered into the ground, their last act of mercy before taking them away. Their handcuffs caught the early sunlight, flashing like justice. The crowd disperses in clumps, whispering behind raised hands. I hear fragments. Never suspected. Seemed so devoted. Poor Duncan. Their shock feels hollow now, like the empty chairs where family should have sat. Aunt Marie touches my shoulder, her hand warm against the morning chill. You did what had to be done, she murmurs. Duncan would be proud. Would he, though? Proud that his daughter turned his funeral into an arrest scene. Proud that our family's darkest secrets are probably already trending on social media. I watch Mom and Jean being led to separate patrol cars, heads bowed. Mom's expensive black dress catches on the car door. Jean tries to look back, but the officer blocks his view, their carefully constructed future dissolving like morning mist. Did you know? I ask Marie. About them? She sighs, her breath visible in the cool air. I suspected. The way they looked at each other. But murder? She shakes her head. Never that. The taste of copper fills my mouth. I've been biting my cheek again. Around us, the cemetery feels too pristine, too peaceful for what just happened. Birds sing, flowers bloom on nearby graves. The world spins on like my father wasn't just buried in soil still wet with secrets. What happens now? The question comes out smaller than I intended. Now? Marie squeezes my shoulder. Now we heal. Or try to. But how do you heal from this? Every family photo is tainted, every holiday memory twisted by knowing what was happening behind the scenes. Even Dad's wedding ring, heavy in my pocket, feels different, less like a symbol of love, more like evidence. The last police car pulls away, taking Mom with it. She didn't look back. Maybe she couldn't. Or maybe she was already planning her next move, her next performance. The thought makes my stomach turn. I should have seen it sooner, I say. All those late meetings, the secret phone calls. Stop. Marie turns me to face her. You're not responsible for their choices. Neither was Duncan. A groundskeeper starts removing the funeral chairs, metal scraping against grass. The sound grates against my nerves like Mom's final scream in the church. Raw, uncontrolled, real. My phone buzzes, probably another reporter. They've been calling since the arrest, hungry for details. How did you find out? When did you suspect? How does it feel to send your mother to prison? I let it ring. The house will be empty, I realize aloud. Crime scene tape everywhere. Dad's things still. You'll stay with me, Marie says firmly. As long as you need. The morning sun climbs higher, burning off the dew. In the distance, I see Kendall talking to a detective, probably describing how he tackled Jean, cousin against uncle, family against family. The irony tastes bitter. I kneel by Dad's grave, touching the fresh earth. I got them, I whisper, but I lost everything else. Not everything. Marie kneels beside me, her dress getting muddy. You've got truth now. It's ugly, but it's real. Real. Like Mom's mask finally cracking. Like Jean's practiced calm shattering. Like the weight of Dad's ring in my pocket pressing against my hip like a reminder. Some things are still solid, still true. I stand up, legs shaky. The cemetery stretches out around us, rows of stones marking other family stories. Some honest, some hidden. Somewhere out there, Margaret lies next to her first husband, their own tragedy buried deep. But not this time. This time, the truth came out, ugly and raw and necessary as breathing. Let's go, I tell Marie. I need to pack some things. We walk away from Dad's grave, our shoes leaving dark prints in the wet grass. Behind us, the groundskeeper finishes clearing chairs, erasing evidence of what happened here. But you can't erase truth once it's spoken, can't unfold a paper crane and expect it to become flat again. The morning air still tastes like metal, like pennies, like truth. I breathe it in deep, letting it fill my lungs. It's not victory, it's not healing, but it's real. And for now, that has to be enough.